Right, today I'm going to introduce a very handy tool before you trim. You can actually check how thick the bottom is before you go, so you don't end up with leaving too much clay or poke it through by accident. This is a very handy tool. It's for measuring the thickness of the base. Here I have two sizes. One is a little bit longer. If you have anything that is larger, you can use this one. If you have something smaller, you can use the shorter one for measurement. And since this ball is not very big, so I'm going to use this as a tool to measure it. This is the horizontal tool that you are going to put it cross over the rim, and with this little slot here in the center, you are going to insert this tool, the ruler vertical tool, into the slot in the middle, and then you insert this in the outer part. And on the ruler here, there is a reading. It's a ruler, so you know how much indication there. And for the outside, it's 90. Okay, it's 90 millimeter. I make it simple for using the metric system, 90 millimeter. And on the inside, if you read it, it's 75. You don't have to have 3 pieces. Actually, if you have 2 pieces, you can do the same job. If you have good memory, like the inside is 75 and you pull out, measure outside, so come up with 90, and you subtract 90 to 75, come up with 15 millimeters. So that is the thickness of the base before you start to trim. So this is what this tool is all about. If you don't have this tool, I have this tool on my Etsy shop and also my Squarespace shop. You can purchase there. If you don't, you can make your own using chopsticks and a plastic ruler. I have I show people how to do that on my video number 85. So you can use that to make your own. You don't have to buy this. Now I'm going to trim it and find the center using this translucent bed to find the center. Okay, that's pretty good. And use the clay to hold it. And again, for general trimming, I'm just using my either number 2 L-shaped tool or the square loop tool, general for trimming, square loop tool. And you always want to keep your clay at the right softness when you are trimming it. And the stage is the hard stage, at least for my very sharp tool. You don't want to trim it too wet. When you trim, you find the clay is sticking onto the tool, meaning your clay is too wet. Okay, you want the clay to jump off your tool instead of sticking into it. And you can see the clay ribbon comes to when you trim. You see that I am placing my fingers here on the head to avoid unwanted chattering. And I know my thickness of the base is 15. And I want to trim it inside here within 3 millimeters. Okay, so meaning I could go down 12. So how do you know it's 12 or not? It's very easy with my tool. You bring it back, put it on here, and you check it. See that? Now it's 6, meaning I can go down another 6 millimeters. Okay. Right, you can check it again. If you are an expert, actually you can just knock the base and hear the sound to decide when to stop. But to be more accurate, you could do this way. Now it's 10, so you can go 2 more down. Okay. Right, so I will probably stop right here and just clean it up. And look for the very final clean. I usually bring in my L-shape number 2 tool to do that, so that I will have sharper corner here. If you don't mind, you can just leave it like that using this square loop tool and just leave it like that. But my personal preference, I like the corner slightly sharper, okay, the inside corner. So I'm bringing my number 2, and this is number 2 tungsten carbide tool with a wooden handle. Right, I will call this good trimming for leaving the bottom. Right, so that is good. And when you feel it's good, now you know this is within like 3 to 4 millimeters, you knock it. Okay, you memorize this sound when this dry stage and this the width of the foot sounds like this. So next time when you are trimming, you just knock it and just listen to the sound of the knocking. You've identified the same sound, you stop. Okay, so that's how you learn how to use the hand to knock the base, to memorize using the tool to learn it. And once this part here is right, and then you could start to compare the inside corner and the outside corner should be at least the same height. The outside could be lower depending on how you make the inside of your wall. Usually if you have the curve on the inside, meaning the outside could go down slightly lower than the inner corner. Right, so I find the inside and outside is good, so I will stop, keep on going down, and then just follow the curve to smooth it. So this part here, I could trim the gray off. And for this tool, the L shape number 2, see that this is how I'm holding my tool. I hold it this way when I'm trimming the side, and I hold like a pencil. Hold like a pencil when I'm trimming inside. I hold this way, and for outside I'm holding this way. You can turn from this corner and you trim it down, and from the bottom you can move the tool this way. And you see that when I'm trimming, always have my left thumb to brace the tool while I'm moving. Okay, so that is basic trimming for the foot. On the very final stage, I could try to level the foot by spinning the wheel very fast. And round the corner of the foot. Alright, if you want to do a little bit of a chattering, usually I trim to the very final stage and then I do my chattering mark here. And for chattering, usually I would use my number one chattering tool to do the chattering mark. And for getting the chattering mark nicely done, you want to make sure that your tool is very sharp, so that you will be able to cut it deeper. And the reason why you are using the number one is that this tool is flexible, so it helps the tool to bounce. I'm going to use my floating part of chattering so that the line is kind of going straight. And for doing the chattering, you want to make sure that you spin the fast and try to catch the rhythm of the tool, and then you just go down with it, so that this is like a slightly floating. My tool wasn't sharp enough, so I didn't cut it very deep, but you get the idea that this is the floating mark. And now you want to train it all the way down here. Remember that the little spinner on the disc, you can bring it back here and then find your center and hold it down, and you can remove the holding clay. So with this spinner, you can trim it all the way down to the rim. Right, so chattering mark here on the base. A Teabowl using the ruler to check the thickness. So you go through accidentally, or you don't leave your bowl too thick. Okay? Thanks for watching and see you next time.